both humbled and in awe of what is happening.
Thank you.
It is emotional for me because 29 years ago when I came to this community, and I was struck by the pervasive poverty that I saw in the children. I had no intention. It was not my intent to start a museum. Just being honest. I was looking for real estate. I wanted to invest in real estate. I transplanted here in Chicago from Cincinnati, Ohio. Someone told me that if I were looking for real estate, that I should go to Pullman. I had not been in Chicago long enough to know what Pullman was, but I began to venture out. And I remember something that she said to me, go to the North End because it's not taken care of like the South End and you can get property cheap. I heard that, but it didn't resonate until I drove to this community and parked my car outside East 817 East 104th Street. While I was sitting there, I saw three little boys standing on the corner, and they were looking at me like I just landed out of a spaceship. And I thought I had this eerie feeling, but it was emotional. It was like something was tugging at my heart. I got out of the car and went in and introduced myself. Then they were really blown away, like an adult coming to talk to us. But they said to me, do you have any fruit? That was a really strange question. Did I have any fruit? And I said, well, no, I don't. And why do you ask? They said, well, we just wanted to have some fruit. Where do you live? Where do you come from? What's your name? But what I realized that they were hungry for conversation. They were hungry for someone to pay attention to them in a community that they lived that was enshrined in poverty. I made a decision at that instant. I won't say I made the decision because I believe there was divine intervention and the Spirit dropped that on me. I could not shake that feeling. I still get emotional, as you can probably hear when I talk about it. It literally changed the trajectory of my life. I ended up buying three buildings, and like she said, I paid $7,500 for the building that you're standing in. The other buildings I got for $5,000. I had three. I had three children, so I bought one for each. Amen. I had no idea that I was going to start a museum, but once I realized that it was a historic community, I didn't know anything about Pullman Porters, but as I began to get that information, what I realized is that the people in this community had no connection, no cultural connection. I then took the task on excavating the connection to their culture. And while the Pullman Porters did not live in Pullman because we weren't allowed to, the restricted covenant, they worked, the men worked. And as I delved deeper into that history, I understood that men who migrated from the South right out of slavery, the best job that they could get was a job on the railroad. It was a coveted job. Along came a man by the name of April Randolph, who lived in Harlem. He did not live in Chicago, but he was a magazine publisher. He began to write about their plight, and the news about the Pullman Porters spread across the country. I was so touched by that. I made a conscious decision, and again, I'm taking that it wasn't me, it was God. This building, I decided that I was going to create a museum that represented the culture of the African American people in this community, and particularly focused aimed at the children. And we we are now celebrating our 27th anniversary in a couple of weeks, the existence of this place. For 2+ decades, we existed in this place because people didn't understand what I was doing, and I always felt alone, which is why I love these women. Because when I started, there was no one that I could go and talk to about starting a museum. People thought I was crazy. We're not supported by federal funds, city, state, or federal, all these years. And people say, well, how do you do that? I can't explain it because it wasn't my idea to create a museum anyway. But we have touched children, those that you call at risk. We touch them when they come. Every year we get interns. We call them interns, but they're not old enough to be interns. But we get interns, and our president, who's a young black man, David Peterson, he touches those children. And in the summer, we get 20. We work with After School Matters to fund them. And the first check that those kids got, they were literally in here dancing. They're waving their check when they had a check. But we have touched on something. In the black community, our culture has been the glue that has held our families together for generations. Somewhere along the way, we allowed the system to remove the pride in our culture from our community and from our children. The manifestation of that is what you see every day when you turn on the TV and a young black man shot another black man, or a young black man, and now girls. What do they call it? Hijacking or carjacking and hurting people. That's on us. We allowed that to happen. And so with the emergence of this coalition, I feel something so very strong. I am encouraged because I feel energy like me, who has made a conscious decision to use culture, our culture, take it back, monetize it, use it to our advantage, just like everybody else is doing with our culture that we're not benefiting from. And like my sister Naomi said, it stops. It's stopping now. It's stopping with us. Yes. Because we're going to show the way how to use our culture to restore and reclaim our communities. We insert that community pride that is so desperately needed. Our children think they're worth it. Yes. And that's our fault. We allowed it to happen. That's right. That's right. And so, pardon my emotional outburst. All right. But it's here and it just came out. And so I cannot tell you how much we appreciate your taking the time to come and capture this very special moment. Because I can guarantee you have not heard the last of this group. All right. All right.